All right, so let's start off with Ron. Welcome to the show, Ron. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Michael. Glad to be on the show.
All right. You've got quite a background to yourself, being a CEO and interim CFO, Director of Corporate and Security, Corporate Secretary. Give us some background on yourself. Let's talk about Flux Power. And I understand that you had a investor conference today about moving forward, what things are going to happen around the corner with Flux Power, right?
Yes. So I'll be glad to give you a bit about myself and a little bit about what's going on. My background is most of my career has been with very large companies, starting out at Ford Motor Company at their headquarters and through their financial management development program, and then going off to 3 or 4 public companies as a CFO in those companies, and then more recently going to COO position in an emerging company, and now as CEO and CFO of Flux Power, an emerging company.
All right. What does Flux Power do?
At Flux Power, we engineer, design, test, and assemble parts to make a large lithium battery packs that drive forklifts and secondarily airport trucks that pull the baggage and cargo and scissor lift carts.
Why is the forklift market embracing lithium power now?
We see a lot of signs that we're at a tipping point. One, the economics of lithium have improved over recent years, and it makes a very attractive, lower cost of ownership proposition. Some companies are starting to use it with success, and the original equipment manufacturers of the forklifts themselves are starting to bring their own in-house versions of them out. So we're seeing a lot of activity from all the key players in the industry, and we're starting to see a lot of interest from us and what we can offer.
When you had your investor conference today, was there anything of note that you wanted to bring out on the show? I don't want to dwell on it, but give you an opportunity to bring something of note out from that conference.
Yeah, no, there's a couple quick points. One is we were just announcing a $500,000 order that we've gotten from a large Fortune 100 company that appears to be the first of many orders for the walkie pallet jack pack that we provide. We had another $100,000 order we just got from a food distribution company. So these orders are like 7 times bigger than what we've had before, and represent some real movement now in the in a sales ramp.
How big is, we started talking about the forklift market. They're embracing lithium now, but how big is that market in the United States?
When we look at the numbers of the forklift market, the things we're building packs for, it's an $8 billion addressable market, which probably translates to several $billion in annual revenue if all those potential lead acid packs were converted to lithium. So it's a very, very large market.
The current commercial product for Class 3 forklifts versus pending launch of a more powerful lift pack. Walk us through that point.
Several years ago, we introduced our first pack, which was for the smallest, one of the smallest pieces of equipment in the forklift industry. It's a walkie pallet jack. There's more of those sold each year than any other single piece of equipment, and thought that was a good place to start, understand the market, make sure if we had any issues, they were on a lesser cost piece of equipment, and to provide a much more efficient rollout, and learned a lot of lessons in the industry. So we've successfully done that. We've shipped 1,000 of those packs over the last couple of years, more than anybody. We've been the first mover. And we're applying a lot of those lessons learned, including UL listing with that, and bringing out packs for the forklifts that the average person typically thinks of the bigger ones that you sit on. So we will be forthcoming with those. We're working on them now and hope to start producing and selling those at the beginning of this coming calendar year.
I can see that this could go through many different industries. Mining comes to mind too, but walk us through the types of customers and industries best suited for the benefits that Flux brings.
Initially, with these walkie pallet jacks, the food and beverage industry has been most receptive to those because they have a lot of them. You get some of these big customers, and they have thousands and thousands of these in their distributed network across the United States, and it's good for lifting and carrying beverage and food packaged goods onto delivery trucks and delivering it and also moving them in warehouses. So that's been the sweet spot there. The interesting thing as we introduce our packs for the heavier pieces of equipment, those will be used across all industries, all warehouses, and not to mention the food and beverage companies that we have also use those sit-on forklifts. So we will have already gained access, entry, and confidence to those companies that we can now say, look, take a look at our larger forklifts.
Right, now we have just about a minute left, but I wanted to ask you about the sales strategy and then patents for Flux technology.
Yes, could you repeat that question once?
I wanted to ask you about your Flux's sales strategy and also the patents that you bring to the table.
Yeah, sure. We, after getting our feet wet with our initial introduction, we had been focused a lot on the design and quality and production. We'd started out utilizing distributors to sell our pack, and we found that we have to have our own sales force leading the effort on that because it's an educational sale and it'll be more effective. So I've hired a new sales director, and he's brought in some new people, and we're very excited about the early results we're seeing on that. With regard to patents, we have two granted patents, and we're in the process of filing 3 more that we think are very exciting and cutting edge, and we'll be filing those shortly.
All right, Ron, we're about out of time. I want to thank you for being a guest on our show, and I wish you the most success you can possibly have.
Thank you very much, Michael.
My pleasure. Ron Dutt, CEO, Flux Power, FLUXPWR.com, symbol on the OTC, FLUX. We're going to go to a break right now, and when we come back, Private Equity Spotlight with Ed Baxter. This segment is brought to you by Tycon Partners. You will listen to CEO Money with Michael Yorba.